Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is MSEMEN. This one is different because it's stuffed with vegetables. It's a nice vegetable mixture and they're spicy, they're salty or savory, but in a good way, because when I say salty, some people might think that that's a bad thing. No, it's a good thing. They taste delicious. They're chewy, they're soft, and they're very relatively easy to make. So let's show you guys how to make. So this looks like a lot of ingredients, but here we have 300 grams of flour, 150 grams of fino. You can use thin semolina if you don't have fino, 4 grams of baking powder, a little bit of salt, and a quarter teaspoon of yeast. And here we have about 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil. You can use any. We're using olive oil, and some tap water just for the dough. For our filling, here we have 3 medium carrots, and we grated them. And here we have 2 medium courgettes and a small one. You can use a large one if you have it. Here we have 2 peppers, so we have the green one and the red one. If you have one color, you can use that. You can use 4 colors, any one that you want. Here we have 2 medium onions, and we just cut them into small pieces. You don't need to dice them or finely chop them or anything. Half a can of mushrooms. If you have fresh ones, good. You can use those. A handful of olives. We used the rest of what we had. 2 tablespoons of parsley. Cheese, and we didn't measure this, and we'll use this at the end. 2 tablespoons of regular oil plus 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Les herbes de Provence. Salt, and half a teaspoon each coriander powder, ginger powder, turmeric, and paprika. And here we have a pinch of cinnamon just for its sweetness. And lastly, we have about a tablespoon of chili paste. You can use as much or as little as you want. Use other types of protein if you want. So you can add ground beef, you can add ground chicken or chicken pieces, you can add seafood, anything that you want. But because not everyone here eats meat, so we're going to make them vegetarian. So our first step is we're using a stand mixer, and in there we're going to add the flour. We're adding fino, baking powder, lastly salt, and olive oil. So now we're just going to mix it at low speed just for a little bit until they incorporate together. So now we're going to add in the yeast and start to slowly adding the water. And Moroccans know what MSEMEN dough should look and feel like, and otherwise make sure that it is not too dense but not too runny. So now I'm going to add the water slowly and check the dough for the consistency. So this is the consistency. It's a little sticky, but it is the right one. But we still need to we need to knead it really well. But this is the perfect consistency. So after we've kneaded the dough really well, now we've transferred it to a bowl, and we greased the bowl as well as the dough with a little bit of oil, just so it doesn't create a peel on the surface. And now we're going to cover it and let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes and move to our filling. So while our dough rests, we have here our pan on medium heat, and we're waiting for it to heat up. So now that it has heated up, we're going to add the oil. We've added the oil, and we've waited for it to heat up a little more, and now we're going to add our onion and our peppers at the same time. Added the onion, we're adding the peppers as well. And the reason we're doing it, we're adding the peppers with the onions at the same time, is because the peppers also take a long time to cook, or if they start to wilt and have a softer texture. So we're adding them with the onions at the same time. So as you can see, they've started to wilt, and they already smell amazing. So we're going to just wait for them to wilt a little more before we start adding in the rest of our ingredients. So as you can see, the volume is no longer the same. That's lowered in volume. So now we're going to add in our carrots because they take longer than courgettes and other ingredients. It's going to be the same as the vegetarian spring rolls that we've done. So we're going to just mix them until they've started to wilt, and then we're going to add the rest. So as you can see, the carrots have started to wilt. So now we're going to add our courgettes. So after we've mixed in our courgette as well, so now we're going to add our chili paste, our spices, les herbes de Provence, other herbs if you want. So you can add oregano, you can add thyme, you can add basil, anything. We just need them for their aroma. Now we're going to mix them all together. And lastly, we're going to add in the mushrooms. And we're going to mix that all together and let it cook. We're going to repeat the same technique we've done with our za'atar and cheese MSEMEN. So we're going to shape it into balls. And we're just going to put it in a tray that we've lined with plastic wrap. And we're going to cover it immediately. And we're going to repeat this with all of our dough, and we're going to let it rest for about 5 minutes, just so that it's easier to work with. So now it looks about ready to me, so we're going to add the olives as well as the parsley and mix it around, and then we're just going to turn it off the heat. So now we're just going to mix it and turn it off the heat. So we've transferred our mixture to our filling mixture to a bowl, and now we're going to start working our dough. And we cannot stuff them right now because it's far too hot. So while working with our dough, that should be about enough time for the filling to cool down. To work our dough, we're going to need oil, we're going to need fino or semolina, and we're going to need some melted butter. On a clean surface, of course, you just take some oil and you spread the surface with it. And you take a circle of your dough and you just spread it around until you get a nice big circle and you start to see the surface through it. So spreading it around becomes a lot easier if you've let it rest for 5 minutes. So now we're going to take some of our fino and we're going to just drizzle it around. And we're going to start folding it into a square. So you're going to just sprinkle some butter on top. And you're going to fold the other side as well. We folded one half over the other. Now we're just going to take the corners and we're going to bring them to the center. Like so. And now we put it in the tray with the others, and we're going to continue the same process for all of our dough. So now we're going to just, we've mixed our oil and butter, and we're going to spread this around the surface just so it's easier to work with it. And we're going to take our dough and we're going to start with the first ones that we've made. So you take a square and try to spread it out a little because now it's thick, so we need it a little thin so we can fill them out. So once we've thinned it out a little, we're going to take a spoonful of our filling. And we're going to place it in the center. And we take a sprinkle of our cheese. We sprinkle it on top. And we bring the edges together. And we're going to just stick the edges together like you would with a dumpling. So I hope that all the steps are clear so far, and make sure to close it really well because otherwise it might open up when cooking it. So now just try to make it into an even circle. We're going to put it back in the tray and repeat the same process with everything. We have our usual pan heating up, and we're going to sprinkle some oil. And now we take one of our circles. And I'm using this pan just because I've just cleaned the surface and it's very tedious to clean the oil. So we sprinkle more oil on top and we try to spread it out into a circle as much as possible. So now we're just going to take it and we're going to cook it. And we're going to flip it every now and then just to make sure that it all gets a nice golden brown surface. Flip it to golden brown on the first time. We're going to flip it a few seconds after we put it on the pan. We're going to start flipping it every couple seconds just to make sure that we get the nice golden brown surface that we want. So as you can see, both the edges are, both the surfaces are nice and golden brown. So now we're going to take it off the heat and we're going to place it in a plate that we've lined up with some paper towels just to soak in the excess oil. And we're going to repeat the same process with all of our dough. So this is what they look like after we finish cooking them and we've let them cool down a little. So as you can see, they're nice and golden brown, they're soft, and they're also they have layers of paper or the leaf or the dough, I guess you can say, because we folded them so many times. And yeah, as you can see, the filling gives it a nice color, and they're nice for any time, I guess you can say. So they're nice for iftar, they're nice for suhoor, they're nice even as a snack in the afternoon. So let's just cut one and show you guys what it looks like from the inside. So as you can see the filling, and you can also see the layers of the dough. So let's try a little bit. So they're thoroughly cooked because we've cooked them over low heat, but then they're also nice and chewy. So I like that. In MSEMEN, they're nice and chewy even though they're cooked, and also the vegetables give it a nice texture too. So I like it that way. It's also salty and spicy, and the flavors just work really well together. This concludes today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching today's video, and if you like this kind of content, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook so you guys can support me to make more content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!